Hello Joe, this is your cylinder head off of your 190 SL, and we've done our best to clean it up as much as we can with our small tanks, but I'm going to take it to the machinist and let him run it through his tank and get the rest of the grunge off of here. We're going to discuss the cylinder head and what's been done to it, what needs to be done to it, and some considerations. Now then, as you well know, it had stop leak in it, and you can see the stop leak does a real good job of stopping leaks and also restricting water flow. Get a better light on here. You can see that one, that hole there is almost completely stopped up. Same with this one. So water in this hole here is completely stopped up. Water was not going to circulate through here very well. Also, what I'm finding interesting is that these holes are round. They're not supposed to be round. They're supposed to be oval shaped and have distribution tubes in them. Let me show you over here what a head looks like that's been fixing up. See the difference in these holes, and they've got something down inside them. You got a tube down inside there, and that's a distributor tube. And I'll show you what they look like. Come in different sizes. This is the size it actually would be on this side here, and it's designed to shoot the water at the valve seats to help cool the engine. This is one size. This is the biggest size, and the big ones would go over here on this side of the head. And and the gasket is designed for something that large. Notice the size of the holes right here. The gasket, well, that's for this size water distribution tube, and they're all through here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. You got the two big ones over here, and you'd have some short ones in the center here. So we got to get this cleaned up and then see what we've got, and see if we can't install those distributor tubes for you. Now the other consideration is, of course, the thickness of the cylinder head. There are limitations as to how thin this cylinder head can be. The original head thickness is, down here, is 3 inches 3/46. And I've been measuring your head. I've already measured it, and I've got the measurements right here. 3 inches 3/18. What I didn't write down was the minimum. The minimum thickness of the head is 3 inches 3/06. So you can see we're very close to the minimums here. So we got to be careful with what we do with the head. The thinnest portion is right here, 3/11. And the difference is, let's see, that's 5 thousandths if my math is correct, and that is the thickness of 2.5 human hairs. So we got to be very careful with what we do here. Now we can certainly correct the thickness by putting shims underneath the cam towers, but then we get to, that's not what we're concerned about. We have to worry about the valves, the intake valves hitting the tops of the pistons. So that's another consideration. We have to be able to sink the valves down in here deep enough to take care of that problem. And the way we measure the head is with a micrometer, and I thought maybe you might want to see that being done. Very simply, we have our graduations right there on the barrel, and we already know we're going to be 3 inches 3 and change. So you can see the 3 coming around right there. So I've got it opened up to the 3 and change, and what we're doing now is I'm scrolling this around and getting it where it's snug and counting the graduations. And what we've got right here is we're past the 3, And we know we started out at 0 on the barrel, and so we start counting from 0. Around here we got, let's see, we got 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and not quite to 20. So that's how this is measured. The other thing that we do with it is check for straightness. And for that we use an actual precision straight edge made by Starrett. This is an actual measuring tool, and a very, very precise measuring tool. This thing is super straight. And what we're doing is we're actually checking to see, if we have any light underneath it. If we have light, then I get out the feeler gauges and I would check to see how much light is coming through. So the head is basically flat, which is encouraging, because we did not want it to be warped. And of course we do the same thing on the top surface where the valve cover goes, because if this is warped up here, your valve cover won't seal with beams, and that's presented problems to us in the past, so we have to straighten the heads. But this head, you can see there's no light coming through. In fact, I'll get a flashlight, put it behind here, and you can see there's minimal light coming through. In terms of the valve cover gasket, that's minimal, so we're okay in that regard. So that's good news. We checked all your valves, cleaned them all up. They're good. They were new and good. Never seen valve guides like these, so we're gonna have to see if we can work with them. That's a strange looking valve guide. Anyway, man, that's about it. I think we've covered everything. Can get it cleaned up. So anyway, in case anybody asks, this is always visible. This is your casting number, and there's your compression ratio, 8.8 to 1 compression ratio. And if we spin it around, here's the date, manufacturing casting date, 21/2/61. So that's February 21 of 1961. Trying to think anything else. The studs look okay. Got some leftover material right there. We'll get rid of that. We'll clean these all up. These look good. Anyway, I believe we have a serviceable head here. We will make it happen. Thank you, sir, and hope you enjoyed the video. I wanted to do this for you since you had been very active and involved in tearing the head down. tearing the engine apart, but didn't get to see the head coming apart. So I wanted you to be here for that, visually, if not in person. Thanks. Bye.